I'm Cindy Brown, and let's queer up business. Business pull back LGBTQ plus support as Trump administration pressure reshapes corporate priorities. A new report from Out Leadership is raising concerns about the growing divide between LGBTQ plus inclusive states and states advancing anti-LGBTQ policies, while also highlighting what critics describe as weakening corporate support for the community. The 2026 State LGBT Business Climate Index found that, quote, the gap between inclusive and hostile states is wider than it has ever been, and it is still widening, end quote. The report expanded its methodology this year to include measures such as restrictions on drag events, access to gender-affirming care, and policies affecting transgender athletes. Massachusetts ranked highest on the index, while Arkansas, Tennessee, Idaho, South Carolina, and of course, Florida ranked at the bottom. The report argues that anti-LGBTQ plus policies create challenges for business by affecting talent recruitment, retention, and brand reputation. At the same time, critics say many corporations that once publicly supported LGBTQ plus inclusion are now scaling back diversity, equity, and inclusion programs amid pressure from President Donald Trump and his allies. Companies including Lowe's and Walmart have reportedly reduced DEI initiatives, including LGBTQ plus inclusive programs. More than half of the Fortune 500 companies that previously participated in the Human Rights Campaign's corporate index reportedly opted out this year. Funding for Pride events has also declined, as some longtime sponsors pull back support. In a notable move, this year's Out Leadership report left its sponsor page intentionally blank, saying the decision was made, quote, to protect our members, their work, and their people, end quote. The report and its reaction underscore growing concerns within the LGBT community about whether corporate support remains dependable during periods of political pressure. You know, it's a really difficult time for the LGBT community, as a whole. I sit on the LGBT advisory board for the county, Miami-Dade County, and in January, that committee is going to be illegal. So between governments and corporations feeling the pressure of the administration, and then for the 4 lowest states on the list, which of course Florida is one, we are facing this extra pressure, and I fear that, we in Florida, we have the benefit of not paying income tax because of tourists, but are they going to keep coming?
Definitely been an impact.
And I feel bad because we have politicians now that support LGBTQ plus and other people's rights and might be facing losing their jobs just because of the way they support the community.
Right. Exactly.
It's both depressing and embarrassing to be living in one of the 5 states ranked at the bottom. I mean, here's Florida, along with Arkansas and Tennessee and Idaho and South Carolina, and shame on the companies bowing to pressure from President Rick Van Trumple. I hope they feel the pinch of losing business from the buying power of our community, because the gay dollar is still strong. So I really hope they suffer for that.
So I put up my Hotspots Helping Out shirt. I'm keenly aware of the financial pressure that we're putting on. And I look at other cities around the state. Some projects have been canceled.
Absolutely.
People realize how much it costs to put this on. We lose a major chunk of funding. It may cost more next year, but it is sad this happens. And things will change. Things will change. I have faith.
Well, I think that the LGBT community has always been able to coalesce and make things happen. And I know I've said this expression on the show before, but I love the saying, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. And we are seeds.
I like that.
Absolutely.
You can try and bury us all you want, but we're just going to
keep popping,
grow right back. There's no getting rid of us. And, I do fear that in the short term, a lot of damage can be done to people in our community, especially the trans community. But, we just got to keep fighting.
Absolutely.
We got to keep fighting. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.